Why do the most successful online dating websites like Match.com and eHarmony.com ask you about your birth order? Because it matters. I'm going to share with you about the expert in the field of birth order, the exceptions to the theory, general personality traits for the oldest, middle, and youngest born, an only child and how they're a little bit different, birth order and how it influences personal relationships, and parenting differently. The leader in the theory of birth order is Dr. Kevin Leman. He spent 25 years studying and researching the subject, and he is the go-to on the topic. Exceptions to the theory include family size. Families over 3 children are a little bit different because you have more than one middle child. Blended families like half siblings and step siblings. Multiples like twins and triplets. Significant age gaps, more than 3 years between births. Adoption and gender. A firstborn male and a secondborn female is treated differently. Radhika Damian said, "You wouldn't notice these differences by talking to a firstborn and a laterborn who are the same age." She believed that not all personality traits are isolated to the position within the family one holds. Alfred Adler said, "Character traits and behaviors derive primarily from developmental issues, including birth order." He believed that birth order influences psychological issues later on in life. The oldest child is originally an only child. Thus, they get undivided attention from their parents, and very little goes unseen. They have the ability to entertain themselves, and being alone is not so much a struggle for them. As they become the oldest child versus an only child, they become an example of what to do and how to do it. As an adult, they strive to be the best, not out of a desire to be competitive, but strictly just to be the best. They are natural-born leaders. They tend to be planners and very organized, and they become a bit of a mini parent to their younger siblings. Middle children are living up to the standard of their older siblings. They tend to be late bloomers when it comes to maturity, and a bit rebellious. A middle adult tends to be a bit flexible. They feel sometimes a bit out of place, and thus build intimate relationships with outsiders of their family to compensate. The youngest child is a baby. They tend to be the slowest to mature as they have older siblings to speak on their behalf. They tend to be a bit free-spirited and manipulative, getting their way so that they can seek out the attention of the older people in the home. As an adult, they still remain the baby. They can still be very manipulative, a bit spontaneous, and more fly by the seat of their pants than their older siblings. An only child is a bit different in that they are surrounded by adults. They can be mature for their age and be driven for perfection to fill voids in their parents' lives. As an adult, they tend to be great leaders and have to make adjustments to sharing because they don't have that practice as a child. Sometimes a roommate as an only child can be a struggle. They're not used to it. But at the same time, they're also not used to being in crowded areas either sometimes. How birth order influences personal relationships. It doesn't specifically positively or negatively influence how your personal relationship succeeds or doesn't. It simply just comes down to compatibility. The need to communicate is effectively still the best way to overcome challenges due to personality. And understanding yours and other birth orders will help you and be a lifesaver, according to Dr. Leman. How birth order influences parenting. Dr. Kevin Leman said, "How parents interact with each child as he or she enters the family circle determines in great part that child's final destiny." The best example of this is the pacifier. With a firstborn, when a pacifier falls to the floor, a parent will sterilize it and the child and everything around them. With a second born, they may run it under some water and be done. With a third, the parent tends to disinfect with their own mouth. This is a great example of how we parent our children differently as you go along. In conclusion, educating yourself can help you direct your direct family, your own children, your professional life, and your personal relationships. I'm Melissa Picklow for CST 100, and this is my informative speech.